to maths here for. Pause here to get paper, pencil, ruler, and an eraser. When you've got it, neatly write down the date and the learning intention, which is to read and interpret line graphs, and then underline it and we'll move on. For the number warm-up, it's adding up to 20, and you get to use any whole numbers as many times as you like to make each line of the rectangle add up to 20. So while you're doing this, see if you can find more than one way to do it. And can you make up your own puzzle like this? Pause and have a go. Let's look at some line graphs together. The one on the far left has information about temperature on Monday. Up along the vertical axis, it gives you the temperature in degrees Celsius, and along the horizontal axis, it's the time. And the question is, what were the highest and lowest temperatures recorded? So moving on to the graph on the right, which is information on snowfall accumulation. Again, along the vertical axis, you have snowfall measured in centimeters, and along the horizontal axis, you have got the days of the week. So the question is, how much snow fell on Friday? And here is a pause point because you're going to look carefully at the graphs, look at a question at a time, and see what answers you come up with. Make a note of them, and we can check the answers out after. Let's compare answers. What were the highest and lowest temperatures recorded? The highest temperature was 24 degrees Celsius. So if you look at 1500 hours along the vertical axis, that measures 24 degrees Celsius. The lowest temperature, as you can see at 6 a.m., is 10 degrees Celsius. If you got that, fantastic. And if not, that's still good because you can look at this line graph to see how we've plotted those answers and how we've interpreted them. So moving on, how much snow fell between Friday and Saturday? And if we go on the graph to Friday and Saturday, the line is straight. It's not increasing or decreasing. It's not going upwards or downwards. It's stayed the same. So that means there was no snowfall between Friday and Saturday. And if you got that, fantastic. If not, again, we're learning from our mistakes. So just reread the graph and see how we've interpreted the answer to get to 0 degrees. This question asks, in which weeks were the temperatures 30 degrees or above? And below the question, you've got average temperature during the school holidays line graph. Again, along the horizontal axis, you see the weeks. Along the vertical axis, you see the temperature measured in degrees Celsius. So read the line graph and again reread the question so you understand exactly what it is you're looking for in the data. They want to know in which weeks were the temperatures 30 degrees or above. And remember, those dots help you read. The graph beside it, the question is, in which season did the height of the bamboo reach over 5 meters? And the line graph has information on bamboo height. That's the title up there. And the height along your vertical axis is measured and recorded in meters. And along the horizontal axis, you have got seasons starting from summer 2016 all the way to summer 2019. So reread the question to understand exactly what information is asked of you. Pause here while you interpret that. Now let's compare answers. So for the question, in which weeks were the temperatures 30 degrees or above? I had week 2, it measured 30 degrees. Week 5, again week 5 is 30 degrees, exactly like week 2. And in week 6, it was above, which is 32 degrees. So the answers week 2, week 5, and week 6. You see how I looked at those dots which were plotted on the graph? I used a ruler to measure along and read the temperature just to make sure I was reading it correctly. And for the question, in which season did the height of the bamboo reach over 5 meters? I had summer 2018, and if I look across on the graph, in summer 2018, it was 6 meters, which is over 5 meters. So reading the questions are really important so we understand exactly what information we're looking for. You need to also go on the Year 4 blog on Purple Mash. If you go click on the sharing icon at the top and you click on shared blogs, it takes you to our Year 4 blog, and you've got a few blog pages there for Year 4. And there's more information on statistics, line graphs, pictograms, and bar graphs. Do go on there. For the one-star task, there's the car sales line graph. So along the horizontal axis, you have the days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Along the vertical axis, you have the number of cars sold, and the scale goes up in ones, and your title says car sales. So George works as a salesman in a car showroom. He records the numbers of cars sold in 5 days from Monday to Friday on the line graph. And you've got to look at the graph, read the questions and answer them. Question 1, how many cars were sold in 5 days? Question 2, on which day were the most cars sold? Question 3, how many cars were sold on Wednesday? Question 4, which day had the least sales of cars? Question 5, how many more cars were sold on Tuesday than on Monday? Pause here while you have a go at this task. Now for the 2-star task. Your line graph's title is Air Temperature. David is a meteorologist and he's recorded the variations in air temperature in degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year. He made a line graph displaying the recorded information. Read the graph and answer the questions. Along your vertical axis, you've got your temperature measured in degrees Fahrenheit. It goes up in steps of 5s. Along the horizontal axis, you've got the months of the year. And the questions are: question 1, what is the highest recorded temperature? Question 2, which is the coldest month? Question 3, which month recorded 80 degrees Fahrenheit? Question 4, where do you see a rise of 10 degrees Fahrenheit on the graph? And question 5, what is the temperature recorded in the month of December? Pause here while you look at the graph and reread the questions and interpret the data. And now for a challenge. Here is a line graph, and the challenge is to write a story to match the graph. The graph is showing information on time and distance traveled. Along your horizontal axis, you see the time, and along your vertical axis is the distance traveled recorded in miles. Here's an example of my story to match the graph. Mo drove 20 miles in his lorry. At 9:30, he had a 15-minute rest. Then he drove for another 30 miles until he reached his destination at 10:30 a.m. Your turn. Remember to take pictures and email them of the work you've done year 4. Stay safe until next time.